Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Codeyantra. Today we will be discussing the fifth problem of the contest CodeFair 2.0, which is named as minimum deletion. So let's read the problem statement. The problem statement says that the greatest common divisor GCD of the sequence is the greatest positive integer which divides each element of this sequence. You are given a sequence A of positive integers with the size n. You are allowed to delete up to n minus 1 elements from this sequence. You may delete any number of elements including 0 as long as the resulting sequence is non-empty. Please find the minimum number of elements which have to be deleted so that the GCD of the resulting sequence would be equal to 1, or determine that it is impossible. So the problem statement says that we are given an array of size n and we have to make the GCD of the whole array equal to 1 by deleting some of the elements in the array. We can delete up to n minus 1 elements. It means that we cannot delete all the elements from the array. We have to keep one element in the array. Okay, so let's move on to the coding part of this problem. This is a basic C++ template. Let's understand what is GCD with the help of an example. Suppose I have an array which has elements 2, 4, 8 and 16. So the greatest element which will divide all the numbers in the array is 2. There will be no greater element than 2 which will divide all the elements in the array. So I can say that the GCD of this array is 2. So now let's try to make the GCD of this array 1, as this is my goal. Now I will remove this 2 from the array. Now my GCD will get changed to 4. As you can see that 4 is the greatest number now which will divide all the elements in the array. Now it's still not 1. So I will try to delete one more element. Now you can see that my GCD will become 8 at 8, as 8 is the greatest number which will divide 8 and 16. I can remove 16 from here. My GCD will still remain 8. So I will not be able to make the GCD of this array equal to 1. Now let's try to do some different operation. In the previous example, I have removed 4. I have removed 2 initially. Now let's try to remove 4 initially. Now my GCD will still remain 2. Now when I will try to remove 16 here, my GCD will still remain 2. And if I try to remove 8 now, my GCD will still remain 2. And if I try to remove 8 here, if I try to remove 2 here instead of 8, my GCD will be 8. So as you can see, it is not possible to make the GCD of the array 1 if the GCD of the array is not equal to 1 previously. Now let's try to see an example in which I am given elements such as 2, 4, 2, 5 and 4. In this case, the greatest number which will divide all the elements in the array will be 1. So in this case, I don't have to apply any operation as the GCD of this array is already 1. And my goal was to make the GCD of the array 1. So 0 operations are required to make the GCD of the array equal to 1. Now let's try understand this with the help of one more example. If my array is 369, then you can see the GCD of the array will be 3. Now if I try to remove this 3, then the GCD will become 3 only, because 3 is the greatest number which will divide 6 and 9. Now if I try to remove 9, then GCD will become 6. Now as you can see, my initial GCD was 3. So it is when initially if the GCD is not equal to 1, we have observed that it is not possible to make GCD equal to 1. So this is the observation which will lead us to the solution of the problem. So let's now try to calculate GCD. To calculate the GCD of, let's code this algorithm. Okay, so this is Euclid GCD algorithm. You can learn it from any YouTube video. Now I will not be discussing this right now. What it does is it takes two integer and it gives the GCD of those two numbers. So suppose if I give two numbers such as 3, 4, comma 16, then this function will return 4 as 4 is the GCD of these two numbers. Suppose if I try to give 2 comma 5 as A and B, then it will return 1 as 1 is the greatest common divisor of 2 and 5. If I try to give 6 and 9 in the function, then it will return me 3 as 3 is the greatest common divisor. Now let's go to the main code. We will take input from the program n, which is the size of the array. Then we will make a program. Then we will make an array of size n, and we will try to take input in the array. Now we have to calculate the GCD of the whole array. To calculate the GCD of the whole array, I am storing the GCD in a variable called g. So we have to learn about a property of GCD. So GCD says that any element GCD with 0 is the element itself. So if I try to take GCD of 0 comma 5, the GCD will be 5 only. So 0 will not affect the number, the other number. So I can take 0 as the initial value of G, as this will not affect the overall GCD of the array. So to calculate G, I am passing the G variable as A and the AI variable. So this will keep on calculating the GCD where as I iterate over the array. In the end, if my GCD value is equal to 1, then I can say that 0 operations are needed. Otherwise, I can say that it is impossible to make the GCD of the array equal to 1. Now let's try to submit this problem solution. Okay. Yeah, so return 0 should be inside the main function. Okay, so all the test cases are passing. Now let's try to submit this solution. Yeah, so we are getting an accepted status. All the test cases are getting passed. So I hope you all have understood the solution of this problem. If you have any query, you can ask in the comment section. For if you have not understood the GCD part, I will post, I will keep the description. I will give a description video in the description section from where you can learn what is this algorithm if you want to learn it in depth. So thank you for watching everyone. I hope you all understood the solution.